the insights from Gardex. This is a classic matchup, but it apparently hasn't happened since roughly 2018. But they will have plenty of sets on their record. Let's see how it shapes up in 2024. We head to Smashville, Hudet on Meta Knight. Mr. Game & Watch is your number 2 seed, Gardex, and the number 14 in the world. I'd love to see where Hudet is on the ranking. I know he's outside the top 20, but could be staking a claim for the 2024 rankings if he can get into grand finals.
It is not that long ago that
I can certainly see it when they're trading sets all the time. Hudet only here in losers by losing to Bike, just the same as Gardex was. They both took that loss at slightly different stages of the bracket, but yes, a game was taken, and it was the first game in the entire bracket that Bike, our number 1 seed, had dropped. So it's all very, very encouraging, and Mr. Game & Watch is sent right up to the corner there. Cheeky bit of momentum cancelling to keep us alive, but Meta Knight's up tilt threatening to kill there. That's rare.
I did see against White, got a couple of kills on Frigate.
Yeah, and Bike as well. He's so willing to, even as a Meta Knight secondary, he's one of the most willing people I've seen to use the up tilt. He just invents new uses for it. Oh, food's all over the place. It's a breakfast explosion out here. This is the all-day brunch. It doesn't matter if it's 11 p.m. here in Norway. You're having your sausages. But great.
Sausages, bacon, whatever you can cook up.
Oh, good recovery from Hudet as well, just to say, hey, this is no brand new Meta Knight. I know exactly how to get to the other side of that ledge, and you will not have the speed to catch up to me, Mr. Game & Watch.
Say how fast he did it as well. That was just exemplary work. Just swooped under and grabbed the ledge instantly.
And now such a delayed recovery as well from the glide. Hudet is just an absolute master of the skies right now, teaching anyone unfamiliar with the game exactly the type of mix-ups Meta Knight can provide. Game & Watch, meanwhile, he's going to be a bit more rooted to the ground, but gets a misinput judge. No up B recovery, and unfortunately that is going to put Gardex very briefly on the back foot, but he is back almost immediately.
We have an even game still.
That was such an important combo breaker from Mr. Game & Watch, because that jab, in addition to the Smashville platform moving to the left, could have carried on for way longer than it was ever intended to do. What a perfect escape from Hudet before it was in an inescapable area.
Let's see, it looks like Hudet has started off the second stop pretty much. Just decent pressure, just keep it going. Then we're gonna see another stop from Gardex.
Oh, Meta Knight's going to get sprung up on the trampoline, and now the wind keeps him in the air. Excellent response from Gardex. Wasn't even necessarily trying to use Fire's parachute to spring Hudet up into the air, but just capitalized on it so completely. And, well, that was intentional. Catch you in the glide, say, I'm going to make this glide last a little bit longer. Just missed point blank though with the shuttle loop, and now Gardex is going to lose the stock in that situation instead. Shuttle loop just barely creeping back. Another judge has been thrown out at thin air, frankly, but you never know. You got to roll the dice so that your next one will hit even better, right?
If it works anything like it does in the other games, you never pull the same number twice in a row, or like the last 3 times.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing in Ultimate. I think in Brawl it's maybe not,
as well,
but I could be completely... It's been a while since we've read the Brawl documents. But what we will see is an expert display in stage control from Gardex, finally broken by that running down air, but 91%, and already Hudet was taken to the very, very top. Good recovery, but the dash attack missed the mark, and now Judge 1 is going to deal some extra damage to Gardex, absolutely unprovoked. This is not a game with rage. We truly don't need it. It's entirely detrimental. There's no talking our way out of it.
Alright, let's see. We're starting to see Hudet getting closer and closer to some real kill percent here. Any one of Gardex's Serious damage. Ooh, reverse shoulder loop. It's gonna be it. It's gonna hit it again.
Yeah, has to go for a high recovery, Gardex, but Meta Knight was commanding the entire platform and basically ruled out its possibility for a landing option. Gardex in real trouble here.
Down smash.
Wow.
This is not ready.
All right, Hudet taking that to the bank. That seemed comfy for Gardex. We have to say the judge one mattered. That down smash wasn't killing without it. The RNG strikes again, and none of the judges were even hitting when they were thrown out. So very, very unfortunate. But we're going to go to Frigate Orpheon, and I can definitely see the logic here. Mr. Gamer Watch wanting to do some juggle combos, perhaps against the wall.
If he's gone here, he can't fix here every time. But at the very least, against enemy.
But never banned by Hudet, so there clearly must be a reason for that as he takes him up to the ceiling 2 times in a row. Oh, there's down throw though, leading into a down smash attempt. Meta Knight happily gliding through that platform, but Mr. Gamer Watch's recovery generally good enough that the ungrabbable ledges on the right hand side aren't going to worry him too badly.
See, Gardex trying to space out the back here, trying to keep Hudet out, but Hudet's just going to use his superior air mobility to get it.
The wind box of Mr. Gamer Watch's up air sends extra far in Brawl. Oh, the glide's disrupted, but thankfully that was the regular glide and not the shuttle loop, so not left vulnerable after missing the ledge with it.
Look what Gardex is trying to position himself to be able to punish him off the stage. Might be really too hard into it, but look like he's so ready for just to punish him.
I mean, if they've played as often as they say, and especially on this stage that Gardex picks every time, I can definitely see it being part of the genuine plan to set that up. Oh, shuttle loop though is going to send to the left-hand side. Gardex was not ready for that one.
Ooh! Judge 3 misses. Then I just go straight through. Stage spike. Now these walls are perfectly straight, 90 degrees vertical, so they're not going to be good for stage spiking, but it's going to fly fairly straight.
Yep. Down air. It's strong enough to kill. Gardex going to be happy with that one. Wasn't the most deliberate feeling kill in the world, but if your opponent is underneath you and Mr. Game Watch has got the key, it doesn't matter which Smash game we're playing, unless it's melee, I suppose. There's always some value in giving it a go.
Don't get me, the key is absolutely amazing.
Oh, definitely a good move in its own right, just not used for the stall and fall tactic that's found its kills here in Brawl. But once again, just finding its way straight back down to the stage, time and time again. We get nair into nair from Gardex, and Hudet is still winning this by a 1%, but not anymore. And Gardex just feels like he's been in control for a bigger percentage of the match at the moment, it feels like. But now we get the stretcher from Frigate just to say, hey, you need another recovery option when Meta Knight is sharking like this. Good attack to send towards the top, but the forward air is going to be the follow-up that actually seals the deal.
Nice catch. We'll see how long Gardex can keep this up before Hudet gets it. Needs to be able to build some percentage here.
A very good down air out of disadvantage though.
Again.
Yeah, but only one of them is going to turn it into a kill. Yeah, Hudet absolutely happy to be in the air to set something going with a glide situation. And now even stocks here. But I feel like Hudet's got a lot more to gain by taking this one. Gardex has cleanly sailed through the bracket up to this point, and if I were to guess, may well have the... Well, I couldn't say who's got the winning record overall, but for 2024, only one of them can. We're going to establish that very, very soon.
Before COVID, I might have had the answer to that, but it's been so long since I've seen these people play, and it's I'm kind of surprised Hudet is playing all.
Yeah, but very, very welcome, and it does. You know, there's something to be said about an all three Norwegian top three in the end. We had plenty of good efforts from the Brits and even from Denmark and Finland were having good runs separately in the losers side, but it ends with a classic Norwegian to top three to show exactly why they are currently at the top of the European Brawl game. And catches the ledge. Just happy to hang out down there for a little bit.
He's going to win the prime time. The platform above is going to stop most of the projectiles from actually coming into play. Obviously, Gardex just need one good hit.
Yep, that was a bit of a lock situation, which will get Gardex the kill, because although Hudet will have wanted to do the glide attack, because those ledges on Frigate Orpheon are not grabbable, if he did the attack it would have left him vulnerable and he would not have grabbed the ledge afterwards. So he had to continue gliding, and it made for a relatively easy punish from Mr. Game & Watch, just as long as you're able to recognise that it was an opportunity to kill. And very few people, I think, were going to spot that, but Gardex definitely is somebody who could. And it came as a result of his stage counter pick, so you were absolutely spot on. I'm sure he'll pick it again.
That is, of course, we're using DSR.
The old days of DSR. Pre-modifications. Oh, but an excellent grab, just knowing exactly where Mr. Game & Watch is going to land. One of those characters with such an excellent disadvantage in all games for being able to mix up his landing, but Hudet was one step ahead. Not when you SDI straight out of the back air. Oh wow, there we go. First stock being taken from Gardex there. Kind of happy days at the moment for Hudet. It's sure something. Yeah, dropping the package there on Hudet's Meta Knight. Meta Knight, a lightweight character, just not really in practice because his up air is so quick he can momentum cancel quicker than any other character in the game. But when you're not momentum cancelling, yeah, sure enough, he's going to be light and he'll die to those things.
He's just a little boy, he's a little ball.
Who gave him the cape, the sword, the evil eyes? He's just a dude.
He's just a dude underneath that whole line. Let's see. We have Gardex. I have nothing to say. See it kills him. I mean, if Gardex keeps getting the bucket breaks, then I was about to say it's not going to result in an early kill, but they just go ahead and prove me wrong.
Yeah, the bucket breaking, really useful at cancelling Mr. Game & Watch's momentum. Essentially, the down B will stall you as soon as you're able to bring it out. The only very small downside is that to be able to use down B, you need to get out of hitstun, out of tumble, by doing your quickest aerial. I believe that's forward air. But failing forward air, it would probably be the up air, but I think in this game, forward air is the option. Certainly not the bomb one that we'd get in future entries, i.e. ultimate.
I miss the good old package.
Mm-hmm.
How Gardex managed to save it.
Yep, that's the perfect key to deal with it, but yeah, commits to the Mach Tornado at the end. I wondered if we were going to get some up airs to try and juggle a Meta Knight that had been left vulnerable by Mach Tornado, but Gardex does not even attempt it in the end. Just a smaller, sensible punish.
Take this game, he needs to build more percent. Hudet is making that pretty difficult now. Just trying to punish as soon as Gardex commits the package. See, got back, send it to the platform. Did he might have shuttle it?
Well, we'll have to check the tapes, but for now, Meta Knight is taking a comfy distance at ledge, and Mr. Game & Watch's get-up attack is going to beat it out. Different times, eh? Good down smash. Amazing, though, from Gardex to actually live it with Mr. Game & Watch at 130. Instead, it's the backwards shuttle loop that will do him in. Hudet is going to reclaim the lead here. one game away from grand finals, and we have played 100 hours of brawls here at Smashborg in Sarpsborg, Norway. Now, who gets to keep the CD, the trophy? We'll find out in 1 to 2 games maximum.
So we're on tournament game for Gardex here. Let's see where they go. He's not allowed to go back to Frigate. He's gonna go. Ooh, Smash now. This is where he lost game 1. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, no, that makes sense. But we've rotated through enough stuff in Dave's Stupid Rule, and Smashville ends up as the classic for Brawl. It can be something that's easy to forget in the days of, you know, modern Pokemon Stadium 2, etc. But Smashville was there for us in our time of need, and it's still here right now for Meta Knight to try and plank under it with up airs, and for Cable Watch to coat the side of it in bacon and eggs. Just getting out of there with Mr. Game Watch's up B. It's the classic of the character. Baits out an air dodge as well from Gardex, but if necessary he can just air dodge again. So not going to attempt any kind of major punish off the back of it. So this is separated only by around 20% at the moment between the two competitors, but it's getting quicker and quicker as time goes on, and at 102%, Shuttle Loop is enough to kill the lightweight Game & Watch, because again, there was no bucket breaking on that instance.
The DI on that.
Yeah, not ideal. He was clearly focusing on his own recovery angle, more so than getting hit in the first place. But they're just getting into the air. Meta Knight, we haven't seen too much of the forward air in recent memory, because Game & Watch I think has been fairly happy to stick to the ground with these attacks. Meta Knight not wanting to challenge that strictly when he could just run up with a Mac Tornado or one of his many Transcendent Sword hitboxes. Like there's a get up attack or a down tilt. I kind of missed it, but down tilt is the one I was going to allude to anyway, because that's an excellent move in Meta Knight's kit, and we've barely seen it thus far because Meta Knight is just too spoiled for choice. Yep, Mr. Game & Watch will try his best to replicate that with his bug spray and his key and his various hammers and food, but Meta Knight not in any way compromising on the sword front.
See, he's sneaking in there with a dimensional kick to that ledge. He's just finding those every time.
Yeah, this is what I feel like it truly comes to when you get to the highest level of Brawl. You need to know all of the tricks, and even making it look like there wasn't necessarily anything in the pipeline, because, you know, if you want to ledge trump someone, typically you're going to need to be near the ledge, but instead Hudet was doing it all from so far away, it washed away the scent of the plan. But just about living that with some bucket breaking is Gardex. The second one again survived because up air of Meta Knight so quick, and then Mr. Game & Watch's down B so active to immediately cancel all the blame.
Gardex is being sent everywhere, but he's regained some control after surviving those just barely. His stock is still...
Whoa.
Oh no, but it's gonna steal spike. Oh, we are at game 4, last stock, 0%.
Let's see, can Hudet take one more game from Gardex and move on to Grand Finals where Bike is waiting? Or will Gardex, our number 2 seed of the event, stick around after all and make matters worse? Mac Tornado up to the top.
Well, that must have been real close. That was far up up in there.
It practically started in the magnifying glass, so heaven knows how high they got with it. But 6% only separating these two, and what an excellent dodge of the key that was. Drifting forwards to bait an attack, but then drifting back the moment there was a sense of danger. Skirted around it by centimeters.
See, Gardex has hold stage, but Meta Knight, of course, is comfortable up there. It's comfortable off stage. Oh, the stripper shuttle loop is gonna do it!
It will, and that is going to be a classic, but perhaps a slight upset as well. Hudet, having double eliminated Louis, has now dealt with Gardex as well, and will move on to Grand Finals to face the only guy today who can beat him, and that is Bike.